The time for talking is over. It's officially game day. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapine of allbengals.com, and happy AFC Championship game day, Bengals fans. Man, oh man, the time is finally here. The wait is over. All of the trash talk, all of the weird political back and forth between the mayors of Cincinnati and Kansas City. Well, we're not going to get into that. But the point is it's game day. It's Joe Burrow. It's Patrick Mahomes. It is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, Travis Kelce, Jerick McKinnon and the Chiefs, Chris Jones, of course, for Kansas City. And this is, well, it's going to be an awesome game. And there are a ton of fans here in Kansas City, so if you're not here, don't worry. I know Bengals fans everywhere have held it down, and a lot of them have made the trip, and I expect Arrowhead, well, to sound a little bit like Burrowhead, potentially, at times today, but it's going to be the toughest game of the season for a bunch of factors, first of which is the environment. I've never seen anything like the Chiefs pregame where media literally parks with the tailgaters. Last year when we rolled up for the AFC Championship game, you're like, wait, I'm parking next to a guy barbecuing and another guy, and it's a really unique environment, and it is loud. And one of the things today that I will be looking for is the Bengals, much like they did last week, how they nullified the Bills crowd a bit. Can you do that early on? It would go a long way because they had an uphill battle last year in the AFC title game, and they overcame it, but it is much harder to do when you're down and the crowd is in it and the crowd is all in it, right? ESPN's Diana Rossini reporting that the Bengals expect Patrick Mahomes' ankle to be fine, but they will test him with pressure. I think that part is interesting. I do, because if you expect it to be fine, you want to see him first. I think that's a little bit of a smokescreen. Not that Lou Anarumo, the Bengals defensive coordinator, didn't mention that to Diana. I'm sure he did. But to me, you want to see what he can do, what he can't do. Well, if he can run and roll out and do all those things, then he's going to anyways. So if he's hanging in the pocket and not moving or not trying to do what he normally does, you're going to know it. You've played him 3 times in the past 13 months. You faced him in big moments, whether it's at Paycor Stadium or here in Kansas City at Arrowhead. So plenty of ways to try that out. So we'll see on how they treat that. The Travis Kelce back spasms thing that he showed up late on the injury report late in the week, I think he'll be fine. I think they'll find ways to get him loose and ready to go. Obviously, the Bengals are going to be without Alex Kappa. They're going to be without Lyle Collins, of course, but then also Jonah Williams. I think Williams and Kappa have a real shot if they advance to play in 2 weeks in Super Bowl 57. We'll see there, but this is the real test. I know a lot of people were excited about the offensive line last week, and that's great. They played great. They deserve a lot of credit. Can you do it in a more hostile environment with a louder crowd against a better opponent? In this Chiefs defensive line, they have dudes. Chris Jones, I mentioned him. It's going to be tough for Max Sharping and Cordell Volson and Ted Karras. They're going to have to communicate, top-notch communication all game long. Jackson Carman's going to be able to have to communicate with Cordell Volson and find a way to make sure Frank Clark, who has played better at home, and the Bengals are aware of this, to not let him make a couple of big plays. And then we know Carlos Dunlap as well. His history in just off the edge, he's certainly capable of making some big plays. But the way this offense is working and rolling, if you're getting 4 yards on first down, 6 yards on first down, and 3 or 4 yards on second, it's so much easier than the sacks, the behind the chains, the penalties. So when I talk about communication, it isn't just protecting Burrow or opening up run lanes. It's making sure snap count wise, false starts, all of those things. Because if you're a tick late, well, then you might get caught in a position where you have to hold. If you're a tick early, well, now it's a false start. And that is something offensively that I'm looking for today. On defense, obviously the Mahomes factor, and you want to take away Kelce. But you don't want to let this Chiefs run game get going. And I don't think they will, but Isaiah Pacheco has certainly given them another dynamic back. And by dynamic, I don't mean he's dynamic. It's another threat to worry about because he's such a downhill runner. He's such a powerful runner. And then Jerick McKinnon has played so much better this season than he did last year. And he's much more comfortable, I think, in this offense and this scheme, and is a big part of their passing attack. So can you limit those two guys to a degree? Obviously, you want to make sure Kelce and big plays downfield, all of those things are kept in check. And that's always number 1, 2, and 3 when you talk about this Chiefs offense. but they've been able to move the ball down the field and just kind of matriculate things down the field this year. They haven't had as many explosive plays. So one way of limiting that is doing that. But look, if Mahomes is 80% and isn't moving as well, I do think that balance for Lou Anarumo is going to be interesting. How much do you blitz him? How much do you disguise? How much do you find ways to simulate pressure versus get pressure? How creative are you? This is it. You throw everything out there to try to get a win and get back to the Super Bowl. And the Bengals are going to do that. A side note, and I'm sure a lot of you saw it, did you see Joe Burrow's outfit getting off the plane on Saturday evening? It was early evening in Cincinnati. Whew. I'm a fan of that outfit, no doubt. And, it's we've seen the shirt before with the bear, in saying, what is it, the Not Sorry Bear, something like that. But we haven't seen the pink jacket, pink pants. It's a fly outfit, and we'll see if that will translate to the game. Like I said, trash talking's over. There was a lot of it. I mean, Chris Jones Friday talking about, in referring to Arrowhead as Burrowhead, clearly annoyed by the comment that Mike Hilton made, clearly annoyed by how much pub that got. Obviously, you have the Cincinnati mayor saying some stuff, and then he apologized, and the KC mayor fired back. Brittany Mahomes fired back. Look, I don't think any of that's going to decide it. What's going to decide it is, can this Bengals team go into Arrowhead Stadium and show that they are the better team? If they can, then they're going to go to the Super Bowl. If they don't, and they don't play their best, then the Chiefs might very well take them down. And once the game starts, a lot of that talking doesn't matter. Now, it will matter post-game. You better believe these teams are going to talk, whoever wins, going to talk post-game. And so having those bragging rights certainly is something that we'll see them have. By the way, I am rocking the Rivertown Inkery swag. You better know it. Rocking the Rivertown Inkery swag throughout Kansas City. I'm going to have the beanie on post-game. And, we're not able to get to the stadium early enough for me to do the stand-up there. That's why I did it here. And I'm about 10 minutes or so from Arrowhead right now. So we're close. We're close to the stadium. We'll be there in a few hours. And you better believe we're going to have you covered post-game with Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor reaction, any other post-game reaction, whether it's a celebration, whether it is in defeat. Cincinnati Bengals Talk has you covered, win or lose. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell. And shout out to Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, for taking care of this video. He's going to have a long night ahead of him because, the game doesn't start till 6:30 Eastern. Boy, oh boy. I can't wait. I know you can't wait. Thank you so much for watching. For Andrew, I'm James Rapine. Thanks for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk. We will talk to you after the game.